Hello, everybody. Welcome back to DevDive, a conversational podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Steve Fontana, and with me, he's my bro. He's Andy Asimakis. How you doing, buddy?
I have questions about this game today, but
okay.
it's all just a list of ball jokes.
I see.
No problem. I already anticipated that.
I was trying to think of like really good things to ask, but it all just rolls back to balls.
Now, that's probably by design, right? and we'll find out all about it, because this week, joining us on DevDive, we have Konstantin Suvorov, project marketing manager for BXDXO. How do you say? Is that a word? Can you say that word?
Yeah, you can. The X's can be silent. It's BDO.
BDO.
If you want to.
Oh,
BDO.
BDO.
It's easier. It's easier to say, right?
Yeah, but I kind of like the X's though. It reminds me of like 1998 America Online. Like I kind of like a screen name.
It's we have like a short explanation why the company name became like it is, and there's the true longer version one. The short version, the X's are there because we are cool gamers.
Oh heck
That's
yeah!
Like it's not true, not even close, but it's a shorter version everyone accepts.
Yeah, because you're the cool guys. I mean,
yeah,
it's pretty
simple.
You can't challenge that.
No, you can't challenge that.
You're a cool gamer. That's it.
And Konstantin, you are here to represent and talk all about Footgun Underground, a roguelike with balls.
Yes.
And those balls will be to the walls. Balls to the walls.
The balls are flying all over the walls.
We got, you got balls, I got balls. Big balls.
Ballsy jokes,
wasn't that an AC/DC song?
Over. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
My best friend really likes the song, and he's annoying me with that. every car ride with him he's just like also sings the song very loudly. Good
Wonderful.
times.
Wonderful.
I have a friend like that.
Who, me?
You're just loud in general.
Yeah.
And when you start belting out tunes.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
You do love a good song.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is DevDive, a conversational podcast. This is the podcast where we interview developers, indie game developers, producers, PR, all kinds of people. If they are involved in making independently developed video games, we want to hear their story. You could follow the show on all social media at Indie Rift. You can follow all of our stuff at Indie Rift. And the show posts each and every week for your listening pleasure on your podcast service of choice, including our home, Podbean. And you could, of course, watch the show on youtube.com/@IndieRift. Remember, you now have to put the @ little sign now when you're looking for a channel. So they changed that up on us, but it's fine. I mean, that's how all social media does things, and now they're just kind of the same. Yes, and if you have any questions for our future guests, we do announce our guests ahead of time for the most part, as long as they're scheduled with enough time, and we like to hear your questions. So you can reach out to us on all social media platforms, and of course you can support us on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/IndieRift, just like our Patreon producer Colton the Apprentice Nestler, back in helping us produce things, keeping the lights on, keeping the mics on, doing the thing,
keeping my mics that don't work on.
Keeping your microphone, baby. Andreas Asimakis.
Yes.
Take us into our ceremonial first question of the show.
Konstantin, why are balls so fun to play with?
That's a good question.
Okay. Because everyone has a concept what balls are. Everyone from your childhood, you already got balls in your hands.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I just want to say we'll get into the game, of course, but from a marketing perspective, I feel like it's the easiest game to market, given the ball puns, the ball wordplay.
Yeah,
all the fun you can have with that.
The really interesting thing is it wasn't like from the get-go like this. I mean, yeah, if you look at the game and the concept and the jokes are just keep coming, and the jokes were there from the beginning, but marketing wise, it wasn't like we focused on the jokes. We really focused like on this core mechanic, with the balls, of course, but that's like the unique thing. But later on, closer to the release, I realized that I was trying some catchphrases, a bit ballsy, doing some funny lines, headlines, like say for Reddit post or something like that. And I just saw that there was like this engagement because, of course, it's funny, it's entertaining. Everyone can jump in on the joke and just make a new version of it, reinvent it, just add more balls, and it's funnier. Yeah, so it wasn't that from the beginning, but later, it showed that it was like the best key to open the gates for the players, so they, look at the game, laugh about it, and then because they get a bit more invested, they really check out the game. So yeah, I think it helped really well to, I don't know, have this. I mean, everyone has just this kind of stupid humor. It helped. I accept that. I take that.
I have a. It might be too late now, but I have a marketing slogan for this game.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it's too fun. I cannot stop playing this ball roguelike game. So I dove in this morning to get reacquainted for this interview, and I got up at 6, did my morning ablutions, had my breakfast, had some coffee.
Wakes up at 6 o'clock?
I just do. I'm wired weirdly.
What the hell's wrong with you, Andy?
I know.
It's
that's like clock. Maybe I'll go for a run, but I won't go for a run ever. So grabbed the Steam Deck and I started playing it. I really couldn't put it down until this interview started. That's why I was a little bit late. I was finishing a run.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's a great reason. I forgive you.
There's just something about the frenetic, like frantic craziness of what's happening on the screen at any given moment that is just a constant dopamine release, and it's just a blast. Can you go into a little bit of that?
I gotta say one thing.
Yeah, Steve. Go ahead, Andy.
It is another slogan. It's less annoying than Enter the Gungeon.
Oh, okay. There you go. Less
Enter
annoying.
the Gungeon, which I love.
Yeah,
but
great game.
It's frustrating. The chaos of this game, there's like zero frustration.
Because you're creating the chaos.
It's so rapid fire.
It's not the enemies causing all of the chaos. You are the arbiter of chaos from screen to screen. And I think that is a brilliant design choice. Konstantin, can you go into a little bit of what went into making the decision to kind of give you the control of chaos?
Yeah, sure thing. So like the initial idea from the dev side was the solo dev Eduard. He was really he's already a roguelike fan. He played all the popular titles, and he always wanted to create games. And then in his head, it was just like slowly growing this idea, combining different aspects. But the core idea was he really liked Backpack Heroes or Peglin, that they reinvented the roguelike aspect with some kind of new mechanic. Yeah, Peglin has this like this Japanese, I forgot the name.
Plinko.
Yes, thanks.
Big fan of Peglin around here.
Yeah, it's a really cool game. Yeah. And of course, Backpack Hero with this item management, backpack system. So, and he wanted to reinvent it, and for whatever reason, another game where he doesn't even remember the name, there was this just ball kicking mechanic, and he thought like, oh, this could maybe fit into, if you like, blow it up a bit more, could really great to be combined with a roguelike. So with some other different aspects, also like from Metroid, regarding the style of enemies and so on, he combined many aspects, and he just, while prototyping, just found out that this ball kicking thing was really satisfying. I think why it is so satisfying is, first of all, everyone can relate to that. Kicking a ball. It's not like not everyone had a sword in his hand. It's not like everyone understands it. I mean, we can imagine that we had a stick or something like else, but just kicking balls, everyone did it in the childhood, and it always just. And if you remember back in the childhood, sometimes the most satisfying thing was just kicking the ball without aiming, just full force with your leg, just kick it, and it should smack somewhere hard, and it's just like this satisfying feeling if it hits something, the goal, the wall, your friend, whatever. And I think this was also recreated to the game, so it just feels fun to feel this heavy kick, smash it into the enemies, and also like ricocheting from the walls. So it's not like if you miss the enemy, it's, you know, the dopamine is not rushing because you missed a shot. No, because then in like a second dopamine hit can kick in if by luck, and luck is always a nice dopamine trigger, the ball ricochets again back to the enemy. This feels great. So you have like this combination of your skills and what always also very important is in roguelike, the luck. And with that, you just have like this constant fun, just kicking the ball, hitting the enemies, and then of course collecting new balls, new upgrades, and so on to just get more powerful. So it's just like stacking onto each other. Yeah, I think that's the reason why it's so cool to play, and maybe also addicting.
Was the ball kicking game soccer?
No.
No,
soccer
it
was
wasn't.
Like,
it wasn't the small indie roguelike FIFA, I believe is the name of it.
Yeah. I remember this game. No, funny enough, it wasn't soccer. It's not like he really thought about the sport soccer, but more like some kind of video game who used this soccer mechanic.
What could this be? I'm so lost for what this game is. That's not soccer.
No. It's not like FIFA or anything like that's like realistic football soccer. So it's a mystery.
It is a mystery.
I mean, while marketing the game, we got like a lot of comments who compared, let's say, the game with how is it called, by Team Reptile, BLAZELEAK. They also released
wait a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to find the name.
Did they do that like Jet Set Radio kind of looking game?
Yes, Lethal League Blaze, that's the game. And they did this this new one, which also looks pretty cool.
Astro Bomb or Funk or something like that. I forget what the title is.
Yeah, it was something. It was a crazy thing. But yeah, so people compared this with Lethal League Blaze, where you just also like hit ball, but small, like a baseball kind of thing, with this like impact. But it wasn't this game that inspired him, and it also wasn't a very, very old, I think, NES title, Soccer Kid, which is like a 2D platformer where you're a boy with a soccer ball, and you just have this also like your weapon, but it's still more of a platformer, a classic one.
Yeah.
But this game isn't it too? So we're still like figuring out, looking reference games and see if it's that, and yeah. So far, no idea.
So you mentioned, you did mention, sorry to cut you off there, but
yeah, sure.
You did mention upgrades and unlocking new balls and stuff like that. That is the core tenet of one of the core tenets of a roguelike, and of course, skill trees are delicious. Can you go into a little bit about what players can expect as far as upgradables and skill tree stuff and growing their character and what it looks like from run to run?
Yeah, sure thing. So let's keep it for the first part. What can you upgrade in one run? So at the beginning, you start with a character. He has like a starting kit and starting stats. And this also dictates what available slots you have in the character. So you have slots for upgrade chips for your character, like getting double jumps, getting a shield, improving your stats, like charging your kick faster, or having just more kick strength, because the bolts have different weight classes and behave differently. But then again, you have also slots for your balls. So some characters can have 2 or 3 balls at the same time in the area if you collect them. But then there's a character who only has 1. And then, of course, and that creates like different play styles. And during a run, you start with your starting ball with the starting level, and maybe some chips depending on the character. And after each run, you defeat enemies or special missions, also like shooting areas, collect new items, collect new items and cash. And then you have, after each run, your inventory opens up, and you can fill out the slots with different chips. The special thing there is, and this is also inspired by Brotato, you can stack the same chips and the same balls onto each other to get the next rarity level. And because your item space is limited, it has like this weirdly item management, resource management kind of thing happening. So that's like this one part how you collect upgrades. And I talked about cash, because classic roguelike style, there are shops during your random generated path. You can select your route to go to the shop, spend your cash, and the system is built like you're on the underground facility, and they're just like big automats where you can buy one item by the time, and then random generatedly you have the selection for another item, and then spend your cash, get back to your inventory, upgrade, create your build. And sometimes, let's say you start with you have one ball slot, you start with the starting ball, and of course during your run you will collect new balls, and then of course you can remove the upgrades from your starting ball and put them into your new ball. So you can still mix and match and create builds however you like, and try, even during a run you can try out different builds. You have a new ball, you switch it, make one round, survive it, hopefully, and then you can decide, okay, do I like this new ball? Does it fit my current kit, or should I switch back to my older build, which was performing quite well?
That is the one annoying part. I'm gonna walk it back for a second. It's like there's like a Sophie's choice happening sometimes when as you're getting deeper into more and more runs, you have like 6 balls available to you, and you can't keep them all.
Yes.
And you have to sacrifice the ones that you think will have the least utility as you're going along. Now, some of the more fun ones that I came across was like the buzzsaw ball.
Of course.
There's a slime ball that splits apart when it bounces off the walls. There's a ball made of lava. There's a bullet. It's just a bullet.
Yeah.
It's straight shots down. What are some of the crazier balls we can expect to find in this game?
Oh, okay. One I really like because I'm a fanboy of it. It's like a reference to Dragon Ball Z. It's a Dragon Ball.
Oh my god.
Yes, it looks similar. It's blue, but it has the stars. And how the ball behaves is after hitting the wall 7 times. There are 7 Dragon Balls, right? Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. You summon a dragon. You summon like a ghostly energy dragon who attacks your enemies, aims at them automatically for a specific time, depending on the upgrade level of your ball. Then disappears. The Dragon Ball charges after some time. So after that, it looks like a stone, classic Dragon Ball. So you can still kick it. It still does damage, but it's not summoning anything. So yeah, that's like one crazy thing I really like. And another one I'm a big fan of is the saw, the axed ball. So that just feels really cool. It's a ball. You kick it. It will stuck somewhere on the wall, and then it will come back to you, and it comes back to you in the current position. So you can like kick a ball through a horde of enemies, and then it's like coming back, a bit like a boomerang, but it's always like it needs to stuck somewhere like an axe. It's a bit like in God of War.
Yeah,
like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, so that's also a very cool ball I like, and there are plenty more, and they're really crazy ones. So I really like that, and trying out. I'm still like finding new ways to play the game. I have like my favorites, but sometimes I switch it up a bit, try a new build, try a new combo, and yeah. But I like to find the synergies, and there are some balls where we're still searching for the perfect synergies with different upgrade chips to get at least as powerful as with my favorite builds. But yeah, I will find a way.
And the balls that you come across in your run, they change from run to run.
Yes. So after each run, I can finish like with that. After each run, you like collect an run overarching currency where you can unlock classic like in Dead Cells. You unlock new balls, new items, which then can be collected during a run. So there you will have increasing your item pool with more powerful items. So in the next run, you get more powerful builds. And yeah, of course, after each run, each ball selection, random generated item drops will be different. Only the starting balls are the same, as I said, depending on the character you unlock also during your runs after, let's say, finishing bosses.
Boss battles, Andy.
The starting character is named Steve. I forget what he has like a little descriptor adjective before. It's like slam
the awesome one,
Steve, or something. No. That's like
no.
There's like a name. He has like a little
yes, I know.
A little alliteration going on. It's like Slappy Steve or something like of that nature.
Wait, I think I can look it up really quickly.
So there's no Andy then.
There might be. I haven't come across it yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
You have to search for it. You have to play the game to find it.
But I love how each character you unlock, where you're searching for that, they have different like stats and attributes, like their kick power, or do they have double jump off the bat, their number of hearts when they begin a run, or their inventory like slots, the number of them. It all just changes, and their starting ball also changes with each character.
Yeah, and there are also a lot of reference characters too, if you're just a fanboy of specific franchises. So we have, it's not Mr. T, but it's Mr. T.
Sure.
Or of course, classic one like Rambo inspired character. From the, I think from ET we have a similar character. So there are a lot of also. That's the cool thing with the game at itself. So there. You can always add new characters with new combinations. We also, a cool thing, a bit more like a marketing side of things, we created specific characters for influencers. They like created videos for us, and then we were like, hey, you know what? As a thank you, and also a bit maybe something for a community to be able to play you. We created the characters inspired by the influencers, inspired by something they do, or maybe they're just avatar as an influencer. So yeah, that's also a very cool thing, and was very fun to do, and just to see the influencers play themselves.
So how do we get Mason Forney's?
Yeah, how do we get that?
How do we get Mason Forney's?
How do we get that fucker in the game?
As either playable character or boss monster or something.
You got the machete ball.
Yeah, or just,
okay,
yeah.
That's great. That's cool. Maybe as a Halloween update or something like that.
Yeah,
look at that. Fit.
This is Mason Forney's. This is not a copyright. This is
owned by totally original character.
Indie Rift, and drawn by a friend of the show, Nate Schmold, and yeah, Mason Forney's. Probably could buy this shirt on our merch store at some point. I don't. Yeah. Andy didn't really put it up there, but I'm sure we can at some point.
It's gonna go up now.
We got to do it. We got to do it. Own your Mason Forney shirt today.
We'll launch it when the update goes for Footgun Underground coming this Halloween.
Perfect. Yeah. all planned out.
Gotta love Mason Forney's. God, that is a 4-year-old, 5-year-old joke at this point.
So wait, that's actually it's a fun little pivot. Marketing games. We hear it's from a lot of solo devs, it can be a difficult thing for them to do on their own. What does your team come and help alleviate from a developer that can leave them to just focus on the actual game dev side? What does your day-to-day look like from the marketing aspect?
Yeah, sure thing. So, I mean, I think that's also the cool, like first things first, that's a cool thing. Not every day is the same. So of course it's a progression, depending on like the development stages of the game. So there's always something new to do. But what of course what like the benefits the developers get by working with us is first of all our expertise and our network. Like we know people, we know journalists, we know influencers, and also we already do marketing, so we now know how to set up ads, how to set up also collaborations with different brands or something like that. We did similar things in the past. So that's something what most indie devs don't have. And of course, most importantly, it's also just, have the manpower, support them, writing the emails, going to the events, searching for the events, also have help with the social media presence, interact with the community, interact with potential new players, make ball jokes. That's also part.
Very important.
I get
Vital.
paid for doing ball jokes. I think I achieved peak job dream performance.
Hell yeah.
I'm done. I got it. But yeah, so that's the most important thing. You need to show. First of all, you need to reach people at the right time who would be interested in the game, and then present them to it and say, hey, look at it. And the hard part is, of course, because there are many great games and many other things to spend your free time. It's not only like playing video games. You can watch the new Fallout series and then play Fallout and then just repeat, rinse and repeat. I'm not speaking from experience. Then and then you need to do it like multiple times. You have to show it, and then there's a moment where that's the moment where they look at it, and then they start investing it, and then they look at the Steam page, and then they see the cool trailers, the cool GIFs, the descriptions. We also like create, or with the developer, of course, together. So it's always a collaboration still, but we try to take off this marketing weight from their shoulders so they can focus on the quality of the game, because time is limited. And without us, or without such marketing support, the developer has to either have a longer development time in general, in total, or have less content or a worse quality because he needed to spend time doing the marketing side of things.
Right. Yeah. Also, it's not something that is easy to be passionate about either. Being passionate about marketing and like talking about your product or the thing you do all day could be exhausting. It could be just, some people just don't have that gift of being able to, talk like that about something that they did. But I do want to go back a little bit because, you have the marketing experience, you have like a formula and a kind of path that you take when it comes to marketing a game. But what does it look like when you sit down with the developer and like, do you ask them, what do you want the main selling point to be? Like, what do you want people to show people? What do you want people to be excited about? As opposed to, are there things that you yourself have to extrapolate from a demo or a trailer and say, oh, I think this is what's going to sell the game?
Yeah. So I think it always, it probably depends from publisher to publisher. I'm sure there are publishers who say, hey, we look at this, we have like market research data, and this is in the trend, so we're going to focus on this aspect. What we try to do, we like to be very close with the devs. So It's not, we try to have a close relationship, and that for us, it's important to understand what they feel for their baby, the thing they put every passion and every waking hour into it, and understand what are the good sides, and of course sometimes what are the bad sides, what's maybe not good enough compared to other big studio titles. You always have to check and see how can you present it most favorably to the players. And what we do at the beginning is we look at the game, we analyze it, we still have our market research, we check what are these nice sides of the game, and then first of all at the beginning it's presenting it to the dev team, talking with them and see, do they agree, do they have input, because that we really like input getting from the devs most of the time, because they, as you already said, don't like, or maybe don't have like this gift or passion to market the game.
Right.
It's harder for them to formulate the specific aspects, how you can then, extract from the game and put them into the ads or in influencer outreach emails. We do that, and then we see, are you agreeing with that? If not, we're working together, communicating. That's the most important part. But most of the time we're hitting it pretty well, especially because we're all also gamers. I really like roguelike, so it's very easy to see the game. By the way, I also like scouted the game. I've found the game at a like smallish event in Germany and
wow.
talked there with him. Saw it and was like, hey, I really like it. I think that has potential. Let's talk maybe about publishing. And now we're here.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's around 1 year ago we met, so it's crazy. But yeah,
was there anything that BDO brought to the development with your expertise and what you know, what the metrics show you as far as what is catching people's eyes? Is there anything that you helped change the focus of the actual development or anything like that?
So that's the thing. We can, but most of the time we try to avoid that. We don't want to, play around in the idea of the developer, because most of the time, to keep them motivated, like this intrinsic motivation, they still need to see this project as their project. It's not like we don't want to take them from them. We want to support them, and then everyone wins. That's the main goal, I think, for most publishers. But still, of course, you can. In game development, you have specific parts you develop, and you prioritize them. What are you gonna do first? What later? And there are things which are more important for marketing stuff. Let's say for an end programmer, it's like, oh, I want to finish all the code, all the mechanics, and then I'm gonna do the graphics, because if it works, the graphics I can do later. But for the marketing side of things, we think, we want to announce your game 1 year or maybe a half year before release. It should be presentable, and we can't create a trailer just with code. It needs to look good, at least maybe the first level. Let's polish
vertical slice.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Polish it, have something nice to show, and that's a thing. Luckily, more and more indie developers see and understand and do, but there are still some people who just wait too long. This artist fear of, oh, it's not perfect enough to show everyone else, and then they're waiting and just don't go out with it and show it to people.
Right.
And we try a bit to force them. You need to see, hey, that makes sense. Please do this and this and that, and then we will show it at this cool showcase. Be it PAX, where we also showed the game, Gamescom. Yeah. With this project, luckily, it wasn't that hard. So we all agreed on the same thing. So it wasn't like we needed to say, hey, please reprioritize your backlog items. But of course, it's still the strategy. We would advise it. And then, as always, it's communication. It's not like we will force them to do that, because this would just damage the relationship we have with the developers.
Right, and I actually wanted to touch on that, because there are times where, I mean, there's articles that you'll read, there's other interviews, even interviews that we've done, where there does become a sort of, there's potential for there to be sort of a adversarial relationship between a publisher and a developer, especially if it's a solo developer that has their processes that they don't and it comes from ignorance, right? Like, they don't necessarily know what's best for their game as far as putting it out in the world. So that's why they brought you on, and now you need them to reprioritize something, because you know that you need to show something soon. Otherwise, this is just going to come out into the void. You're going to be, rushing your timeline as far as marketing goes. So how do you balance that delicately enough? Like, is it a personality by personality basis? Do you have like sort of a, not necessarily a catch-all, but like a playbook when it comes to like approaching a developers or development team of like, this is what's reasonable to ask for. This is, we know is pushing it a little bit. And then there's this is us putting our foot down kind of timeline.
Yeah. Always depends. It's like we decided case by case. So there are some things where first of all, we try to communicate everything as soon as possible, because the thing is where we just put the foot on the gas and say, no, it needs to be done now. It's important. This stress can be avoided if you already know beforehand that you need this trailer for this event 1 month prior, and then you can communicate it to the dev and say, hey, the showcase, we need a trailer, but currently the UI looks like shit, as an example. Please, we need to fix it. At least maybe in the trailer, edit it a bit, that it looks nice, that it looks presentable, and is similar to a placeholder how it will look in the future. But with this project, there were some times where we said, "Oh, we need to do that," and Eduard, he was great. He was like, "Okay, yeah, I understand that." He's like a very understanding guy. Really, I really enjoy working with him. And he was like, "Yeah, sure thing, I can fix that. Can I do it by this date?" And I'm like, "Okay, let me check. Maybe a bit earlier, or yeah, that's fine enough, or no, or I say, hey, it's fine. You have like 2 weeks for that. Relax, take your time, don't pressure it. Focus on the things which are important for you right now, because it's your project. You know what's best for the overall project, for your vision." Yeah, because I mean, I think we all saw it already. If too many people try to mingle with a specific vision to cater it to everyone, and if it's like if you try to create something that that will be liked by everyone, nobody's gonna love it. So it's just like, it's mediocre, it's average, it's not hot, not cold. It's just lukewarm. And for that, we try to mingle with the visions of the developers as least as possible, and it works so far, and that's good. That's a good thing. But it's not like we have guidelines. It's not like we have a book where we say, okay, these topics we can like push, and this we can relax more. It's always case by case, because that's the cool thing with development at indie games. New showcases popping up, new influencers popping up, new opportunities, influencers creating their own showcases, and for that you need to be flexible.
One more question for me before I kick it to Andy, because I know Andy's been sitting there very patiently.
What I've been enjoying all this.
Going back to Footgun specifically, because I do want to tie it into that. When you were looking at Footgun and coming up with your marketing strategy for it, what were, let's say, the top 3 marketable things you saw that you wanted to really touch on when it came to the marketability of Footgun?
Sure thing. I feel the short things first. First of all, it was the pixel look. Because it was it's a nice looking pixel look, especially with the splatter effect of the enemies. It just creates this new satisfying layer. So I really enjoyed
just to let you know, that is exactly the first reason Andy looked at this game at all. It was pixels exploding.
The sprites did it.
Yeah. So good job on picking that one out.
That's good.
So easy, please.
Hey, but I'm also a big fan of pixel look, so I understand that. That's also the reason why it attracted me. It was like a small booth. I saw it. I was like, okay, that looks cool. Straight to the station. So yeah, that's the first thing, the pixel look. The second one is for funny enough, because it's still a bit of unique thing, this item management and this stackable upgrade system. So just playing around with the builds, and it's not like, let's say, just with the dead cells, there's an item drop, you look at the stats, okay, it's cooler, I take this weapon, done. And of course you have your primary and secondary and the other items, but it's just like you see an item, you take it. And with Footgun, it's more delicate. It's more of playing around, and it's always satisfying. I like item management. I like, let's say, in survival horror, Resident Evil style kind of games, I like this item management mini game. And Footgun has the same thing. So we also tried to focus on this upgrade system in general. And the most important thing, of course, are the balls. So the core mechanic. It still was. The other things are cool. The core mechanic is like 80% what we communicated and marketed, because that's the most unique aspect of Footgun, and it's also the thing that brings the most joy.
Man, I was like destined to enjoy this game. You got, I mean, the sprites, there's like a Resident Evil reference, and then balls. There's like,
that's always great. That's great to hear. I think that was my goal, just to I enjoyed the game, and I was like, hey, everyone, I wish more people will enjoy this game, and then the dev will earn money with it and can do his dev thing. We will also earn money with it. Cool. We can support more devs or more projects like this, and everyone wins. It's the best feeling.
I have a last question before we dive into rapid fire, Steve.
Okie pokey.
This could be a fun one.
Let's get it. That's Fun Time USA right here.
You've done marketing for a while, I imagine, for indie games.
Yeah.
When have you seen bad marketing happen to good games? What does that look like?
Okay. Let me think of examples that are safe to tell. Okay, I will avoid to name specific titles. So I think one major, like one big pitfall many indie devs do is they see a popular title, a very popular one, a cool IP, whatever, and they say, oh, that's cool. A lot of people like that. In my communication, I will use that as a reference. And it's cool for the beginning because people like the first interaction, this awareness kind of thing. It works for that. But the longer you communicate this aspect, the more people will have this expectation that this game will have at least the same level, maybe a bit below like this big popular title. But then most of the time, indie games don't reach this level. They don't need to. The price is lower. The content amount is maybe lower, but maybe the love in the detail is more profound, what I like. So, and that's like bad marketing, if you would say. It's like you think it's good to reach more people because you like piggybacking this IP, but in the end will like bite your ass because then people say, but it's not as good as this one. I just prefer play the other one, the like original one, not this one. And that's the thing where you say, shit, I should have maybe switched it. Maybe at the beginning I could have used this comparison, but then later I should have tried to distance myself as much as possible and have like more of a unique presence.
Right. Yeah. Saints Row comes to mind when they did that horrific. What was that? The PAX, wasn't that was Saints Row, right? When they are not PAX, the E3 crazy marketing that they did, the viral. Oh my god!
I just think of a dildo bat the second you say Saints Row.
I mean that was one. That's one of them.
That's good marketing.
Well,
I mean, it's good marketing because you will get a lot of press coverage from that. And coverage is always good.
Yeah, we're not talking about if the game is good or not. We're talking about awareness and getting it out there. Now, I think what you're saying is when I hear like so and so is like the next Dark Souls or whatever.
Yeah, that's and they gotta stop with that shit.
That sets you up for like so and so is the shittier Dark Souls. Yeah, like when it comes out like years later.
Yeah, not quite Dark Souls.
Yeah, I can't believe it's not Dark Souls.
Yeah,
you are.
Oh, that's great. I love it. I think that's going to be the clip of the show. Love that.
I can't believe it's not Dark Souls.
I mean, what are you comparing Footgun to? You know, I can't believe it's not. I don't know. Just it sure is Footgun.
I can't believe there aren't 1,000 more reviews on this thing because this game is amazing. It needs everyone's eyes and ears all over it. It's a treat. And
well, write a review then.
A little crack like.
Stop being a big baby. Oh, I just had it. It was just in my head, and then it's okay. Yeah, you're the marketing guy. You know market research. You know what goes viral on the internet, and you know what sells. I don't know every character in the game. Is there a cat character that shoots a ball of yarn? Okay, well, now you know what your DLC is going to be.
See, now
because
we're making a game for Steve.
No, cats sell, man.
Yes, cats sell. We see that every time, and we all in the past project we pushed this thing with hey, let's try. You have a cat, it's just like an item. We focus on that. That's cool. We will use this as a communication, like the game with a cat. So and it worked in a way, but interesting. Funny enough that we haven't thought about it. I think maybe because like the characters are still like not animals, they're still humans or aliens. But yeah, just a humanoid cat. Why not?
You could come across. It doesn't even have to be humanoid. You could come across like an alley cat that you adopt, and you unlock it as a character, and you could just go around just on all fours, just shooting a ball. And you could do the same thing with the dog and make it like a tennis ball.
Here's what you do. You see the cat. If you pet it enough times,
yes,
you get that marketing bit.
Yeah,
you can now pet the cat in the game.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, okay, that's interesting. I have a project where it's a game I really like, where it's also the trailer uses at some point. So, yes, you can pet the dog, and then just like 3-4 seconds where you're just petting a dog.
There's a whole Twitter page that just does games that have petable animals in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, absolutely. Yes. This is a thing.
But one thing with the cat, just an image just popped into my mind because I just saw this memes recently. You know the Fallout 1 dog over the fence jump animation?
No, I'm not familiar with this.
Okay. So it's like just as just to tell, it's simple to understand. A dog walks on all fours. In Fallout 1, if you jump over a fence, you just use one arm and jump over it. It's like a standard animation. And then there's just like this video where the dog, I'm not sure if it's like a mod or a bug, the dog is just then like his limbs grow to humans proportions. He used this over the fence jump animation, then it's just back to like walking on all fours. And the moment you talked about like being the cat, just a normal cat who kicks the ball, I just imagined like the cat walking, doing like a backflip, then like the limbs are just growing in like this weird human proportions. It does the kick, and then it's just back to a normal cat. Why not? It's more of a horror game then, but hey, I'm always
But think about it, the ball of yarn could like unravel and like tie enemies up.
Yeah, that to be honest, that's a really cool idea. That's a really cool idea.
Ball of yarn, good. Toxic hairball.
Upgrade.
I mean, of course, the DLC needs multiple balls. That's
absolutely. Absolutely. A bell ball. It just like does concussive noise damage or something. See, we got this. We're on this. All right, now it's time to sneak into our rapid fire section portion of the show. This is where, Konstantin, we're going to get to know you. Okay, we're going to ask you the questions, the hard-hitting questions, in which you are going to give off the top of your head, off the cuff answers for. Try not to think too much about it because honestly, they are stupid questions. So you really shouldn't put too much thought into it. If you can.
Okay, I tried to give stupid answers.
Good, good. Okay. All right, first question.
I got one if you want to think for a bit.
Yeah, go ahead. You can go first. Yeah.
All right, Konstantin. I've just unlocked you in Footgun. What is your starter ball?
A potato.
Hell yeah. Just a spud. Just kicking a spud around. I love that.
Oh, Steve, okay. I got to ask you the same question, Steve. I feel like you
want to ask me the same question?
Yeah, why not? I feel like you give a fun answer for this.
Wow. Okay. Here. That's I
just unlocked Steve. Steve's in the game.
Shit. Am I coming up with the answer?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you need to work.
He was like that with potato. You gotta give
I know. I didn't even think of this. I might do. Shoot.
One of your children.
See, you can't. That was the first thing that came to mind. The first thing that came to my mind. I was like, I can't say that on the internet. I can't say I'm gonna kick my kids on the internet. Yeah, I don't know if that works. And then I was like, oh, but like I love my cats, so maybe I could use my cats as a weapon. I was like, but then I'm kicking them. So again, not a good path to go down as far as keeping my reputation. I don't want to be boring, but I kind of feel like I might do like hockey related. Like maybe it's not a ball, but it's a puck.
Like an oversized puck.
Yeah, like it's like a hockey puck and you know, stuff like that. Since that's like my favorite.
It's totally in line with the game.
Yeah, I think it works.
Yeah. Yes, I mean you're kicking bullets, like one bullet. I think you can. It's okay. I allow that. You can have a hockey puck.
Sweet. Marketing guy says we can do it. Let's go. Okay. Let me see. Your friends get a phone call, and it is from the local police department. They have mentioned they say that Konstantin has been arrested. What was your crime?
Yes, I know. I helped people with robbing a flat because I thought they were just moving out and wanted to be helpful. A classic Marshal thing from How I Met Your Mother. Yes, that's true. Yes.
That is like, oh my god! It's like, how do I market this robbery in the most?
Yeah.
How do I spin this robbery? I'm not robbing them.
I'm a nice guy. Sometimes, and just the best example for that I'm probably too nice, or maybe people just don't believe it. I had a friend. Or I have him. We met in a game development school, and we got really close, and then we were like with the group, and one of the group people talked with him, and I heard it, and they were like, they told me, I think Konstantin is just playing this nice character. And then his reply was like, you know what, I thought the same, but no, he's really that nice. And he was like shocked, and I mean, I was happy. It was like a nice compliment, but I was also a bit like sad that people expected it to be fake. I just like being nice. It's easier. You have less enemies, except if you help people rob a flat because you're too nice. But then I accept that.
The whole helping people rob somebody's home accidentally is very like Mr. Bean. Like Mr. Bean walking down the street, and then like the bank robbers come out with a sack of money, and they can't get in the car because the doors are closed, and he goes, and he opens it for them, and they get in, and he closes the door,
the money bags.
Wait, helps to put it in the trunk. He just doesn't know. He thinks it's laundry. He just like shoves it in. He adjusts their mask, and like they go off. I'm gonna double up here, Andy.
Yeah, you do it, buddy.
Is cereal a soup?
Oh, good lord.
The classic. Okay. I say no.
Okay. Go ahead, Andy.
What is the dumbest way you've ever injured yourself?
Okay, don't think too much, but there are so many. Okay,
I got a sense that
I have one. It's also stupid because how I looked afterwards. So I was a volunteer in a games event in Berlin, and I helped checking the line. It was like a VR experience behind curtains. Cool thing, like the other character NPC was a real person from the theater who played an NPC. Really cool. But I needed to open up the curtain and let the people through. And for whatever reason, I turned too fast, and there was just a plank of wood. I smacked my head so hard against it that it looked like I had a scar in my face. And then all from the volunteer teams just started calling me Scar from the Lion King because I just had this line, and it was very visible. It's not a scar; it just looked like a red line, but
an imprint in your face.
Yes. It was stupid. It was funny.
Speaking of Scar, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Andy.
I was say chicks dig scars. That's
they love that stuff. Yeah. Speaking of Scar and the Lion King, I think this is a fun question. What is your Disney movie? For example, we all grew up with that one that we watched over and over again that kind of defined our childhood. What was your Disney movie?
Okay. I think Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that was a good one. They showed that a lot in school and in the auditoriums here, like on a rainy day when we couldn't go outside. Play Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, and Little Mermaid was a big one too.
But in my case, it was. I know in my early days, I'm from Kazakhstan, so there, in my early years, 1 to 2, they had on VHS Lion King, but the bigger impact, Beauty and the Beast left a bigger impact because I watched it as I was a bit older, still a small kid, but I could understand the story better. and I don't know, I just like, I love to rewatch it, and I have like a soft spot for musicals, and I don't know why, but Beauty and the Beast is the most musical-like movie for me. Second place, Hercules. Hercules is also very
Hercules
great.
is so
that's
good.
a good one.
Hercules is very good.
That's a great one. Is any game unmarketable? Like, do you think there's a game out there that exists that you absolutely cannot, no matter how much you try?
Okay.
You cannot market it to the masses.
Okay, not to the masses. Yes, totally. There was a time, maybe you heard about it. It was a game on Steam. It was delisted by Steam later. I think it was just called the Rape Game.
That's a problem.
You can probably imagine what happened there, and what the game is about. So this is pretty hard to market, nearly impossible to the broad mass. But the thing is, the human taste is a spectrum, and there's everything for everyone. So if you want to, there's a small little niche you can target, but it's morally questionable. I would never do that. I would advise to never do that. This game it deserves to be taken off from Steam, but yeah, there's something like that.
Oh my God. I gotta look into this game.
Please don't look into that game. Please do not.
I'm already on like 10 watch lists, dude. What's one more
Andy,
gonna do for me?
Incognito mode does not stop them from seeing your browser history.
I know. I've learned it a long time.
Doesn't do anything.
It's for research purposes, of course. It's just like, they research the game industry.
Right.
It's a challenge, of what not to do. Or what not to name a video game.
There was also that school shooting game, right? Where you
there was a bunch of stuff. There was that one game just called Hatred.
I
remember that.
Like a mass murders, killing people. Like, it's like Postal or GTA,
Postal.
More
Postal's tongue in cheek though.
Right. Yeah, Postal is at least a bit like funny. It wanted to be over the top. Hatred was just like edgy.
Yeah,
we don't like that. All right, final question of the show. It is the most important question of the show, so you better get ready. I don't want any nonsense from you. I don't want any PR, any marketing speak. I don't want none of that.
He's gonna give us like the marketing answer.
Oh, it's coming.
I'm so excited.
It's coming.
Okay.
It is a simple question. A baby can and has answered it before. Okay. So don't overthink it. Question is, Andy or Steve?
Andy.
There it is.
That's fair. No explanation needed.
Yeah. Well,
no explanation.
You know why? Because I look like a potato. That's probably what it was.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Okay. You are potatoes al rotten, is what you are. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to bring us to the end of the show. Thank you so much for listening and watching. This has been DevDive, a conversational podcast. Again, you can follow us on social media. We are at Indie Rift pretty much everywhere. So, go search for us there. Konstantin, where could everybody find you? Where could everybody find BDO? And where could everybody find Footgun?
Yeah, sure thing. So you can find me on LinkedIn. I don't have a social media presence. I'm sorry.
Bless you. You are just
the marketing guy.
I am envious of you.
Do you know the question and the phrases from drug dealers? I sell the stuff, I don't take it myself. It's a similar thing.
Right.
I mean, I still watch like YouTube, a bit of Reddit, but I don't have any Instagram or TikTok or something like that.
Good for you.
Not my cup of tea.
That's
but
healthy.
LinkedIn,
a healthy lifestyle, dude.
Maybe. Yeah. You can find our company on the web, just giving the name. One thing, BDO is it's like one company. Cobra Teco Games, CTG, is the publisher label. You can contact us both ways. No problem with that. And Footgun Underground you can find, of course, on Steam. It's for PC currently. And yeah, just type in Footgun Underground and kick some balls. Be ballsy. Take your balls, feel your balls, whatever.
Fill your balls? Is that what you said?
Take my ball and go home.
Empty your balls on this amazing game.
How many balls can you fit?
How is there not like a OnlyFans foot fetish crossover with the game?
Oh, there is
in the title.
We're just waiting.
Don't worry about it. We're just waiting. By the way, the feet that kick these balls in this game are mangled. So I don't know if you might have to find a very niche section of Foot Finder. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening and watching as tradition. Watching is tradition now, apparently. The watching. Yes. Thank you very much. And as always, please be excellent to each other.